Welcome back, home chefs. Today we are going to prepare an absolutely mouth-watering chicken biryani. Flavorful, aromatic, and rich in taste. Trust me, you're going to love this recipe, so let's get started. First off, I have taken 1 kg of basmati rice. This is perfect choice for biryani because of its long fragrant grains. This quantity is enough to serve 6 to 8 people comfortably. So now we need to wash the rice thoroughly. I gave it a good rinse just once so that we can remove the excess starch. We don't want to wash it too much, it might remove the natural fragrance of the rice. So after rinsing, I kept the rice aside to soak while we prepare the rest of the ingredients. Next, let's move on to one of the most important ingredients in biryani, which is onions. I took 2 to 3 large onions and peeled them carefully. So once they're peeled, I chop them into thin vertical slices. So as shown in the video, cutting them this way ensures they fry evenly and turn crispy. So once sliced, I set them aside for later use. Now let's create our own fresh homemade biryani spice blend. This is the secret to an aromatic and authentic biryani. In a blender, I added 2 tablespoons of green cardamom, 2 tablespoons of cloves, a few cinnamon sticks as shown in the video, and 2 tablespoons of shajira. I blended everything together into a fine fragrant powder. Just look at this beautifully ground spice mix. The fresh aroma of these roasted spices will take our biryani to next level. Now set this aside, we'll be using it soon. Now let's marinate the chicken. But before that, I have taken chicken pieces, already washed them and soaked in salt water for 30 minutes. This step helps in tenderizing the chicken and removing any impurities. To this, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of red chili powder. You can adjust based on the level of spiciness you want. Then add 1 by 4 teaspoon of turmeric powder and 2.5 teaspoons of salt. You can adjust according to your taste. Then 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste for an intense depth of flavor. Then 2 teaspoons of black pepper powder for that slight heat. And then 1.5 teaspoons of our prepared biryani masala mix. Now I mix everything well, ensuring each piece of chicken is beautifully coated with the spices. There was already a little water left from the washing, which helps the masala stick better, so I didn't add any extra water. Once everything is mixed, I let the chicken sit for a while to absorb all the flavors. While the chicken is marinating, let's fry our sliced onions. In a pan, I heated some oil and added the thinly sliced onions from earlier. Keep the flame on medium heat to allow them to caramelize slowly. This will give them a deep golden brown color and a sweet crispy texture. Once the onions turn dark brown, I carefully remove them from the oil and place them aside. Now let's prepare our boiled rice. In a large cooking pot, I added 8 glasses of water. To this, I added some bay leaves, 2 to 3 green cardamoms, 4 to 6 cloves, a small piece of cinnamon stick, half teaspoon of shajira, and then 3 teaspoons of rock salt. You can add regular salt as a substitute. And then I have added 1 tablespoon of oil. Now I have placed it on the stove and then let it come to a boil. By this time, everything will be a roller coaster ride. Now let's go back to our marinated chicken. To it, I added the fried onions we prepared, a handful of mint leaves, a handful of fresh coriander leaves. I mixed everything well and added 400 ml of curd or yogurt, which makes the chicken more tender and juicy. Then coat everything nicely again, and after coating everything, I sprinkle some milk on top and let it sit for a few minutes. By now, our spiced water is boiling, so it's time to add the soaked basmati rice. I'm adding the rice into the boiled water, and then later I would give it a quick stir. So the goal is to cook the rice only 70% of the way so it remains firm and doesn't become mushy later. Meanwhile, I prepared saffron infused milk by soaking a few saffron strands in warm milk. This will give our biryani a rich golden color and an incredible fragrance. After 5 minutes, I checked the rice. It was around 50% cooked, so I let it steep for a little bit longer. When it finally reached 70%, I turned off the heat and carefully transferred the rice into the big kadai, which is the biryani pot where our marinated chicken was waiting. Just like I show in the video, add the rice and let's go into our final layering. Once the rice was added to the pot, I sprinkled on 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of ghee for that rich aroma and flavor. Spread it out a little bit. And then I have added the saffron infused milk. And then I have added the remaining fried onions. I covered the pot with tight lid, placed some weight on top, let it cook on high heat for 20 minutes. Wow, just smell this biryani. It's absolutely heavenly. The aroma of saffron, the warm spices, the tender chicken, and the perfectly cooked rice. It's all come together beautifully. It's time to serve and enjoy. Make sure to try this at home and let me know how it turns out for you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more home cooked recipes.